Hello everyone and welcome back to another 0-hour tutorial video, this time for a very special one since we are going to deep dive in some pretty advanced peeking tactics, something that will most definitely be really useful for PvP players out there. The advanced peeking tactic I am going to explain in this video involves doors and the kick feature. In case you haven't realized yet, if you kick a door enough, the handle will be removed, which will leave a hole in the door big enough for you to have a pretty good view on what's behind and shoot through it. This technique is pretty useful when trying to keep an eye on what's going on in the room without exposing yourself too much or without using security and spy cameras. So in this tutorial video I will explain how to do it, things you shouldn't do otherwise this technique won't work, the limitations, and some good spots where you can use this technique. First things first, you should know that this technique does not work the same everywhere. It mostly depends on the material of the door. If the door is made of wood and you kick it several times, it will remove much more than just the handle. However, if the door is made of metal, it will only remove the handle and barely make a hole in the door big enough for you to see through it and shoot through it. It will be big enough to spot if someone is behind the door, maybe get a couple of shots if you're on single fire, but you have to use a pretty accurate weapon, but that's about it. The reinforced doors, like the green one on Terror House on the ground level or the red one on Hotel Trouble at the staircases, do not have handles, so this technique does not work on those doors. So let's focus on the wooden doors since they are the most interesting one for this technique. Here's the step-by-step process. Step 1. Make sure the door won't need to be reopened. Once kicked to the point the handle is gone, doors cannot be closed again once opened. So it works best in places you can access from another door or another way such as a window where the door opens from the outside of the room you are going to stay in. Otherwise, it will open every time you try to kick it, and once you remove the handle, you won't be able to close it. Step 2. Make sure you are kicking the door from the side that does not open, obviously, otherwise it doesn't work. Step 3. Do not reopen the door unless necessary for the reasons I explained just a moment ago. Step 4. Enjoy. Wait in the room, get your angle, and just pay attention. So from this point, you can look through the hole in the door to see what's going on behind it and even get a few kills without exposing yourself too much. To be honest with you, it's not that easy to spot the holes in the doors and attackers might not expect them to be broken before they arrive because this kick feature is mostly used by attackers when they actually want to remove or open the door when there is a door wedge and they don't have a C2 charge. So this could be something you do during the preparation phase as a defender. There are limitations though. You have to make sure your teammates know about this tactic though, otherwise they might open the broken doors, which will obviously ruin your plan. Here are some of the really good spots where I like using this technique. On Terror House, first floor, the one you can see from the small storage room. On the second floor, in the kitchen looking at the balcony. And then still on the second floor in the master bedroom, the door on the far right side, you can look at the balcony, you can look at the objective and the corridor. And then one for the attackers actually, if you go to the balcony on the second floor and then get on the balcony and hide just behind the little wall, you can kick the door, then go back on the rope and you can have this hole that looks directly into the kids' room and also the kitchen, which is really good. Then residential house in a guest room looking at the balcony, really good one. Then you have on the ground floor, if you go to the storage room, you can have one that looks directly at the breaker switch, the main entrance and also the stairs, so that's a pretty good one. And then still in the same room, storage one, you have the door that looks directly at the entrance. And then there is another one that looks at the corridor that leads to the kitchen. So if you have one or two people there, you can have a look at those three angles really easily. Then still on the same floor, moving on to the kitchen, you have the double doors, just note that you can have the hole on both doors, which will make the hole a little bit bigger, so it might be easier for weapons that are not too accurate like the Mac 10, but obviously you will be more obvious when looking through the hole. And then we have the door facing the showcase room from the main room, which is also pretty good if any CTs come this way. Back to the first floor. For this one, you will need a +1 to kick the door. So that is the Elder's room, so you will need someone who kicks the door while you're already in the room, and you can have a good look at the stairs and the objective as well. Then you have the master bedroom. Again, you can have a good look at the balcony on the left side and a little bit of the dining room, which is pretty good. You can also do the same with the guest room R.o.d.e. And then obviously you have the toilet in the master bedroom, which gives you a pretty good view on the entrance to the master bedroom from the dining room. So that's pretty good as well. Moving on to Hotel Trouble. On the second and the third floor, you have the linen room, which is kind of like a storage. It gives you a really good view on some of the balconies and the staircases. Then if you have a +1, you can also hide in the storage room, which is also pretty powerful. It gives you a good view on the staircase as well. And then a more powerful one, which is hiding in room 303. For that, you have to open both doors of 302 and 304, and then go back to 303, make the hole in the door, and it will give you really good view on the balcony and the room where the objective is as well, and you can use the toilet for better cover as well. This is really good one. Obviously, you can hide in the toilet of each room, so 304 and 302. And for this one, you do not need a +1 because the doors open towards the room. But it doesn't really give you good angles, right? You're not gonna see much on the balcony or the gap between the walls, but it's still pretty good. On the second floor, you can hide in room 206, and that gives you a good view on room 207, which is one of the balconies that attackers can use to get into the floor. So again, hide in 206, make a hole, and there is even more space on the right side to hide and protect yourself. Then last but not least, you can hide in the first floor in the operation manager room, which will give you a pretty good view on the meeting room. So if any CTs comes from the balcony, you can get them from there. And so that's it for this advanced peeking tactic tutorial. Let me know in the comments below what is your favorite spot using this tactic. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like to help me fight the YouTube algorithm and help other 0-hour players find this video and get better at the game. I'm Hotrod from the r.o.d.e Foundation. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.